Hey guys, welcome back. So we're about to start off our next portion of Act 3.
Actually, our first portion of Act 3, because this will be the first.
Yeah, minus that big long intro from last time.
There was a 16-minute episode, Micaiah.
You're a 16-minute episode, Greg.
That was our shortest episode ever. And
You're a 16-minute episode.
I would like to think I last longer than 16 minutes.
So, anywho, I've fleshed out this side of the map a little bit, guys. I got some new armor, as you can see. And also, oh my god, you guys ready for this? Fucking fire sword! Whoa!
Yep. Micaiah's wishes from episode 1 have officially come true.
Oh yeah. So anywho, we're gonna go start this next story mission. Here goes.
So anyway, one of the cool things about this armor that Micaiah has now is he actually isn't detected by enemies right away. He could actually walk up to them and they'll slowly start to realize he's not a Mongol. So this armor is actually really good for dealing with them.
Camouflage.
Don't use that when you run into samurai though, they'll kill your ass fast.
I don't think the rest of the story is going to be super long. I think it's going to lead to like a climax relatively quickly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. This might be our last recording session for Ghost of Tsushima. I hope not. I hope we.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna 100% the fuck out of this game, regardless of what you end up doing, Greg. So.
Regardless of what I end up doing. Well, today is a very good day for the channel, though, because I have finished all of our videos up until this point. So they're all edited, and they're all currently being very slowly uploaded onto YouTube, because YouTube's taking their sweet-ass time. But our first 4K video has officially hit the channel today, and I was very happy to get to watch some of that and see how it looks, and it looks fantastic. Even at the 1080p resolution that I was watching it in, it looked really good. So I am very excited to see what you guys think of this game in 4K.
So one disappointing thing about this section of the map is the fact that I just get fucking normie ass horse here anytime I need to ride a horse.
Well, you got our horse killed, okay?
Kage's gone.
That was
I wonder if like watch that be like one of the things that you can actually affect with your samurai versus non-samurai decisions.
I don't think you can, though. I don't think there's a decision-making option in this game, because there's no way you could have changed the outcome of that mission.
Yeah, there were some like forced non-samurai moves.
So I think that if I had to give a criticism to this game on anything, it would have been the linear style of this game. I really feel like we should have had some choices if we wanted to be samurai or if we wanted to be like assassin. Because I would rather take the harder route and go the.
I don't remember what
route.
my criticism was, but I gave it last night.
Oh, well, we weren't recording last night.
Whatever the other night we recorded was, Greg, suck a dick.
Okay, no. And you suck a dick.
No, I'm good. So, speaking of sucking a dick, you said something about Tinder that you wanted to bring up on the show?
Oh, yeah, okay, so I was... so at the time of this recording, I am currently single, and I like to... So I play around with 2 dating apps. I play around with Bumble, and I play around with Tinder. I like Bumble specifically because I like the fact that, you know, someone can reach out to you when they feel comfortable. Like, women you don't have to, it's not the men hassling women and doing all kinds of inappropriate shit. It's the woman makes the decision if she wants to talk to you or not, and then you have to kind of like earn the fact that they talk to you. So I like that about Bumble quite a bit. But I was on Tinder today, and I was just going through. Now, as I was going through Tinder, there were 3 women I saw on my page today, or on my the list of people that came across. And have you ever experienced looking at somebody, Micaiah, and instantly thought they smell bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I looked at all 3 of those women. When I looked at them, I was like, you probably smell like a fucking ashtray. Like you look like you smoke at least like 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Ugh, it was bad. We get, I honestly didn't even expect to see that, but I know there are some women where I've looked at them and I've been like, okay, you look like you just cooked a pound of meth. This was the first time I've looked at somebody and I thought they'd smell bad.
Yeah, the way people portray themselves on the internet, like especially when it's a looks-based thing, it's like you'd be surprised the lack of care that a lot of people around this portion of the area seem to put into that.
Yeah.
Like they kind of take the boomer double chin looking down at the phone selfies, and it's just like, no, that's not what this is. You should put yourself at your best. And sadly, around here in East Tennessee, that is sometimes people's best.
Well, that's where I'm excited for the Arizona move. I'm looking forward to just getting introduced to a different mix of people, a different social group of people as well. And honestly, you're really running yourself into a different, not necessarily ethnic pool, but you're definitely in a different gene pool of people there. Whereas here in East Tennessee, you've got a lot of Scotch-Irish, which is fine. But like everybody's the same, and so for someone like me, who I'm not really that appealing to people of that particular gene pool, like Scotch-Irish people don't seem to find me very interesting, but people from other ethnicities do. Like I was very excited that I got to date somebody from Saudi Arabia, and that was one of the best dating experiences I've ever had. So I'm looking forward to getting to go to Arizona and have some new and fun dating experiences with people that are, I believe it's Navajo?
I don't know. Although, I'll tell you what, we might be looking at another country to move to if fucking police state in Arizona keeps getting the way it is.
Yeah. Which would be disappointing because the mix of Native American there and Mexican and like Aztec genetics has produced some absolutely gorgeous people out there. And so if you live in Arizona, you're probably a really good looking person. So kudos to you for living in Arizona and having that good genetics.
You're so fucking lame, Greg.
How am I lame?
You're just, good job living in Arizona. As if you can even help that, most of you. But probably look good. Like, no. I like people regardless of where they're from, as long as they're like cool as shit and we vibe on that level.
I think
I've done quite well here though.
Well, I think you'll find appealing people wherever you go. It's just you kind of have to make the decision what's best for you.
I will
like,
say
what do you really
that
want?
I think the biggest unappeal point from a dating perspective around East Tennessee is like what people seem to settle for. Like a lot of people really want to just settle for like the married with kids, go to church on Sunday, like my husband takes care of everything and I want to surrender all value and independence as a woman because that's what gives me value as a person type values around here. And like I don't vibe with that at all.
No.
Like I want you to bring your own personality into things and like be strong, opinionated. Oh, I love some opinionated women.
Right. So I mean, if you don't have that challenge in a relationship where you have to not necessarily fight with somebody, but like if you have an opinion, they're going to come back and say, "Hey, challenge me on that opinion." Then like you're missing out on a very important aspect of relationships, I feel.
I get along with most of the opinions. It's just a matter of the fact that like I want someone outspoken who isn't like, oh well, my husband says. It's kind of like those like army wives where you'll address me by my husband's rank. It's like the fuck I will. Like get a personality. Like your husband being married isn't your fucking personality. Like being related to a fucking veteran or a fucking officer or whatever the hell isn't a personality. Like be your own person.
There have been times when we have had like arguments and stuff, and like both of us have like put up our opinions, and then one of us will like, okay, yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, hey, by the way, Liz is here.
Yeah.
No, we didn't introduce you.
I was just waiting. Anytime they hear tiny and adorable, they know it's you.
Micaiah, I'm the tiny and adorable one. Okay?
Well, Greg, I can't speak to how tiny you are, but you are pretty adorable. What? How?
You're supposed to meet somebody at a place versus what you're doing, which is you're trying to fight overwhelming forces like an idiot.
Oh, okay. It's over here. Well, the markers like over top each other. They should have spaced this out better.
Also, if you guys hear any soda cans popping open, we are back to work on White Claw Tower. We'll be posting some images of that hopefully soon, because our podcast room is our walls, I'd say 3/4 full of White Claws.
I've made it into art. I glued them all together.
Yeah, Alyssa did a really good job with starting to get stuff together, and then Micaiah took it the rest of the way and started stacking them. So I've been the one who has not really contributed much to it. So.
That's because he knocked it over twice, and I told him we can just throw them away because I'm not stacking it again.
Yeah, Micaiah's kind of clumsy.
Oh yeah, me, the clumsy one of the relationship.
Micaiah, you're the most heavy-footed person I've ever lived with. Like, I know when you're home. Or
that's because you've only lived with small people, Greg.
Yeah, every time you walk around, it's like thump, 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 thump. That's why the people below us don't live there anymore, because you probably pissed them off while you were thumping around.
No. Ooh, I'm gonna do some stealth, Greg.
Oh, what a miss. That's not really stealthy when you miss. Like, I would be using the longbow, too, instead of the half-bow.
Yeah.
Getting all your buddies killed now. Bad.
Ah!
Now you're on fire. What the hell's wrong with you? Ooh, that was cool. Explosive arrow. You got a guy right next to you. You having a fire sword off to see who can fire sword better?
I mean, that is a pretty awesome way to settle a duel. Like, if you're gonna fucking kill someone and they have a fire sword and you just are like, bitch, I'm staying right here and bringing out my fire sword. Like, I don't care who wins, you died like a man. Like, that is so fucking metal. There's no losers in that battle.
I think you're the loser in that battle, right?
People who are pro fedora wearing don't get to
What's
choose
wrong
who
with
the
wearing a
loser
fedora? Fedoras are great. They're classy as fuck, too.
is. Yeah, they're so classy. You know what else is really classy, Greg?
What's that?
Buying a sword at the mall and then wearing it around in public so people know you're a true samurai.
That's not classy at all. That's just weird, dude. Stood at the art of Bushido. Actually, I have a story about that.
Oh, look. Got them all down to just a few of them.
So, when I was a kid, my family, they were really obsessed with buying furniture and really just like knickknacks for the house from a place called Oriental Imports. And it was this, it was an importer that they specialized in imports from Asia, hence the term Oriental Imports. And my parents got this gorgeous dining room set, and you guys have all seen the dining room set. It's that cherry dining room set. And they got this really cool grandfather clock. And while they were doing that, for about a year, they were going there, and they were just buying piece by piece and just getting the whole set together. And part of that is what really introduced me to my enjoyment of, Asian culture and Asian aesthetics. But the guy who owned the place, I used to like getting these cloisonne swords. And they were basically just like letter openers. They weren't very big. And one day, because my parents, every time we went there, they'd buy me one. So one day I was like, I kept going like bigger and bigger on the sizes of the swords and the letter openers I was getting. And so I had gotten the biggest one they had in their display, which wasn't very big. And then I was like, so I want that one. And I pointed to, it was effectively just like a short katana. is I think is what it was. And the guy like walked up and he was like, "Let me tell you about when I was in school." And he was like, "I used to walk around with this sword in my hand, and no one messed with me. I was just the toughest kid in school, and all the girls,
including girls."
Yeah. So obviously he was just bullshitting, but I still remember that story and just like how he said it, because he was like fluffing up and everything, and he was like, he went into a heavy like Asian style accent or like Asian English accent. It was so funny. And yeah, there's my story about how someone tried to sell me a sword, and they were trying to play that card with my family. My dad just laughed at him and was like, "Don't do that." I was also in Taekwondo at the time too, so I was like, I can handle something like this.
When I was in the mountains, horseback riding, like mountains, right? We go into this store and there's like, it's just a regular gas station, except there's bongs and a bunch of swords, and there was a sword with a swastika on it, like right by the door.
Oh, that's gross.
I've seen a lot of that pro right-wing imagery take over Pigeon Forge here recently, like with the tourist shops. They're like, "Oh, Trump money, blah blah, we can make so much off the dumb rednecks who visit here." Ugh.
This is why I'm looking forward to moving to Arizona or another country, or just another area. Get exposed to some new people, some new perspectives on things.
I think other country. I don't want to retire in America.
I don't think I do either.
I don't trust my health to this country and
That's
the
where I'm
longevity
at.
of my life, and also I don't want to have to worry about the system working in my favor where I can profit enough to overcompensate for the system that they have in place.
And that's a big thing for me when I think about my retirement years. Do I want to retire in a place where, you know, I have to make a decision, or I have to wait for an insurance company to determine what's the best course of action for me? Or
Well,
would I
there's
rather
also
be-
like Trump's like, "Oh, we're gonna give you guys bigger paychecks," and a lot of people are for it, and it's because they're ending like payroll deductions and stuff for things like Social Security. So like the stuff that our parents and grandparents are doing, like, you know, they've been saying Social Security's like in debt for years,
Yeah.
but now it's literally going to be like, hey, we're going to cut the shit that contributes to this even being a thing in the first place.
I mean, that's a scary thought, because we've been contributing to Social Security our entire working lives, so
Yep.
you're talking, what, close to 20 years I've contributed to it now. Actually, this year will be my 20th year of contributing to it.
I'm 27, so I've contributed for 12 years.
I started work when I was 14. So I started
15. So.
my freshman year of high school, I was a bagger at public supermarkets. They
Man,
sure as hell took-
even your fucking first job was more privileged. I had to start out at Kroger.
How
Your
is-
fancy ass little Publix.
Publix was the Kroger in Florida, though. It's fancy as fuck here in Tennessee because they had to stand out from the shitty places. But yeah, I mean, that was my first job. It was great. Love working for Publix. I wish I was a manager for Publix. In all honesty,
I don't.
they can.
I would not want to work grocery at all.
They make good ass money though.
Yeah, but like, I just enjoy like call center fucking management so much more, because I actually give a crap about like the issues that I have to manage. Whereas in a grocery store, they'd be like, blah blah shrink, blah blah this, and it's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh man, someone walked out with a candy bar.
I don't know. I never got to be in a management role in a supermarket environment like that. The closest
I've seen them, and they're sad people. They go home with like a full case of beer every night. They fucking like quake in their boots when corporate fucking walks in.
Yeah.
Like, we straighten up and might dress a little nicer for corporate, but we're just like, we can have a real conversation with those people, you know. Like, I've seen some definite, like, you know, we'll kiss ass here, but we'll have like a, hey, no, we're not gonna do that conversation there
Yeah.
in call center, and like, I like that. Like, when someone can be like, okay, you know, there's a give and take to it, I can work with that. When it's all just like, oh, sir, I noticed you didn't wipe all the way when you fucking left the bathroom. May I lick that for you? Like, nah. I could never fucking be that kind of manager. Fuck that shit.
Well, and I think that's kind of the difference where our call center experiences are, because I've had to be in that role, and I've seen that many times where it was just ass kissing in a call center, because I've been in senior management before, and dude, there's a lot of ass kissing in that role, and it sucks. I remember being in we're not going to name the company that this happened in, but I remember I was sitting in a sales meeting, and we were trying to get a new client, and one of the Silicon Valley clients, a big tech company client, and it would have been huge business for us if we can get it. And so the sales team, when they came in, they were like, you have to dress this way, you gotta be business casual, you gotta be like hip and sexy. And that was as like as stupid of a plug as this is for me. They picked me specifically because I was one of the younger members of senior management, and they wanted to show that they were a young and hip company. And one of the things that they did was, when we were in the sales meeting, we were doing a tour of the site, and the company that we were trying to sell to had asked us, how do you guys deal with security threats? So, like, what if there was a live shooter? Because this is Tennessee, everyone's got guns here in Tennessee. What would happen if someone came on the premises and started shooting people? What would you do? And the answer was, oh, as a company, our culture prevents that from ever happening. We as a company have never had an active shooter or any type of severe violence happen. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh hey, 4 years ago, they just had two people beat the fuck out of each other on the smoke deck because of some girl situation. Other sites have had people get poisoned, people have been stabbed, like fucked up shit has happened. And we're sitting here in a sales meeting trying to say like, oh no, everything's great, nothing's ever happened. Like, I've seen that shit too, dude. It's just as bad as anywhere else.
I just... yeah. That was a bad answer, and also I would have never made that fucking answer come out of my mouth.
I didn't say that answer. I saw the sales team say that answer, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That is probably, like, my biggest thing as a manager, is having to let other people give stupid answers and not having just full control of the situation and letting them just bomb the fuck and having to swallow and be like, how am I going to compensate with my response to this?
Yeah.
Like, it's painful sometimes. It's just like, oh, they just said that. Fuck. Okay. They went there. How do I make this not look as bad while still giving myself credibility?
Well, that is something I can advocate for, though. I think if you want to be a manager in the business world, I think a call center is a good place to start, because you see a lot of stuff, and you get to work for a lot of clients, and you get a really good understanding of what the bigger picture looks like. But that's enough preaching on our end about work and call center business, because we just finished another story mission, and
yeah, so
yeah.
Guys, welcome to the business episode where we talked about work the whole time. All right, so next.
And you just said, all right, so. If you guys haven't picked up by now, Micaiah's catchphrase at this point is basically, all right, so.
No, we edited a lot of them out, so they don't know that yet.
We edited an entire video where he said it probably 40 times.
It was bad.
He just kept saying,
oh my god,
right,
it was
so.
really bad. It was towards the beginning of us beginning to record, and like it was the opening to every little snippet of video, because it was a several step process.
Why did you pause the game?
Oh, I don't know why I paused the game. I guess I was waiting for us to do an outro, but that's not.
Well, now we're doing the outro. Thank you guys again for watching and just dealing with all the like random shit that we've been talking about on this one. And please like and subscribe below. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty. Bye bye.